Hey guys, Lindsay here.
I'm Marissa.
Today is Friday, and here is our video for a couple of gays.
So we watched someone else's video.
Well, okay, so this is not really video response, but it's just our comments on the Girlfriends TV channel video about this during her stereotype week and her very last video in that series, the feminine lesbians versus the non.
It was an interesting video. I thought it was a great topic to bring up. But there were a few things that were just confusing to me. So
we're going to talk about them.
So we just wanted to talk about it. I think it's hard to talk about anything having to do with sexuality or femininity or masculinity if you don't think of those things as a spectrum rather than a binary. I think of femininity and gender identity and gender expression and sexuality all on these type of spectrums. This spectrum is completely reflected in also, homosexual males too. Mm-hmm. But let's stick with lesbians. So if you're going to ask me, like they had these two very cute lesbians on that were from the UK, and they were super sweet and cute. And they would, be categorized as
femmes.
Femmes, yeah, in the lesbian community. But as they were talking about what they experienced being feminine and being lesbian, I think what they were experiencing was what anyone who is feminine experiences, which is misogyny. They were experiencing misogyny. Mm-hmm. They were experiencing males being... I don't even know what to say. Males being males being overly sexualized for them, or not believing that they were lesbians, or feeling like two girls and one guy sort of fantasy.
Right.
That's misogyny. And anyone, including a male who displays as very feminine, will experience misogyny to a certain effect. And because they said they had never really had a lot of homophobic slurs towards them or experienced homophobia necessarily, it made me think that they were experiencing more of what femininity is exposing them to than gayness necessarily. Because you being feminine and you being gay are two different spectrums, mm-hmm. right? You're on a spectrum of femininity. All females are. Lindsay is on. She maybe will display more masculine because she likes to wear men's clothes and more baggy. And I would display perhaps a little bit more towards the feminine side. But that has nothing to do with our sexuality. Our sexuality is on a different spectrum, and my sexuality is just a little bit different than Lindsay's. Mm-hmm. I don't want to say anyone's wrong or it doesn't, or it's weird. It's just when you think of it in that way, it makes you view things that are happening to you and things and how, because your sexuality, your gender expression and your gender identity and your femininity versus masculinity, all those spectrums are going to be unique to you, and they're going to make up how you identify. A white privilege is what dominates our society. It's heteronormative too. So you're heteronormative. You have white privilege, and all of these layers of things are going to affect how your identity expression is received exactly by dominant society. I'm speaking from my knowledge base, right? Sure. So I'm speaking having grown up in the United States and experienced the society in which we've cultivated in the United States. I don't really know how someone can say you don't exist or you do exist or you're real or not. I mean,
if you're there and if you're a feminine woman and you're gay, then you exist. And and having some guy or even women, if they're coming at you with this too, women can be misogynistic too. And having them say that you're not doesn't mean that you're not. It just means that they don't understand it. Yeah,
I mean, it's just interesting.
It is interesting, and it's also interesting to get other people's perspectives. I mean, what they experience is legitimate, and it's good that they get to shed light on a subject that people...
Yay, femme lesbians. I used to call them lipstick lesbians. Is that the same?
Yeah. I don't know. Are we too old? Is that our generation's?
Is that old? Lipstick lesbians? I don't know. Because the woman on the video had this really beautiful fuchsia pink lipstick on.
Yeah.
And she has a really, like, porcelain sort of skin and blonde hair. So it was just really like, wow.
I think she wears, I mean, I've watched their videos too. So, I mean.
Oh.
That's
the only one I've watched. But she's like, but it was like really just she has a beautiful skin tone. And
yeah. So.
Then I thought of lipstick lesbian because she was wearing a really awesome lipstick. I think what's unfortunate about my brain is I watch these videos and I come at it from a very academic standpoint. So I have a degree. I have some degrees and things. Anyways, and so when I watch these videos, I really break it apart. Like, I deconstruct the whole thing, and I think, well, that question's not even legitimate. And then Lindsay's like, yes, it is. Lots of people think about it. So unfortunately, my brain, like, deconstructs it to the point of, like, I don't even see a binary. So whenever people are talking about femininity and masculinity, or any binary we have, gay or straight, gray, white, black, it's hard for me to talk about it because I feel like most people are talking about it from a binary standpoint, and I'm talking about it from the spectrum. And so my brain goes stupid and is like, I don't even know what to say in response to these videos because it feels really...
Well, it's because you come from a completely... I mean, I'm sure Ariel, and then I don't remember the other ones.
I don't remember their names.
I know they're Wegan. Whitney and...
Megan.
There you go.
Megan.
I'm sure they understand the spectrum. But a lot of times when you have to answer questions like this, if you're not cognizant of the language you use, it can slip back into binary.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's true. I think the way that I want to think about it is really subversive to traditional ways of talking and thinking about it. And I feel like if I talk about it that way, and if more people talked about it that way, then more young people would not feel as, like, ostracized or as, like, categorized. And I also think that, this video is going to be way more boring than their video.
Well, it's academic.
Because it's academic.
But it's who we are, so this is how we respond.
So therefore, you get a really nerdy response to a very basic lesbian question.
It's exactly.
So it is. Take what you want from it and leave what you want from it. That is exactly what these videos are for. And so if you get anything from it, great. If you don't, great. If you knew it all, wonderful.
If you have any questions, let us know. I'll link their videos that who we're talking about below too, so you'll know what we're saying.
So I think that's all we have to say tonight. We'll come back next week with a less academic topic.
Yeah, we'll try and be more fun next week.
More fun. Anyways, this is the winter and lesbians. Or something. This is the femme lesbian winter.
What? We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.